I knew that I wanted to do this from about 9, but I didn't know how to articulate it. It was like something inside, like a drive, that made me very obsessed with the idea of becoming a singer. And I kind of articulated it to myself when I was about 15. And from then onwards, I would spend every single hour of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year thinking about it until I was 19 and I was able to move to London and start working towards achieving it. So I definitely knew.
Sunday, wake up, give me a cigarette. Last night's love affair is looking vulnerable in my bed. Silk sheet, blue down, Colgate, tongue warm. I had never really been a musician and I hadn't been a singer. I was really scared of singing in public, but I knew that I wanted to do this since I was about 14. I just worked at it for like 4 years and I was really bad in the beginning, but I wanted to do it so badly that I just continued. I never like tried to sound like anyone. So if you're as honest as you can with yourself and doing something that you think sounds good and that you love and that you really feel inside, I don't think you can go wrong. Sunday, wake up, give me a cigarette. Last night's love affair is looking vulnerable again.
I'm a very impatient person actually, so for me it's not going fast enough because I want it all now, because I've wanted it for so long.
You want the world and you want it now.
I want the world and I want it now.
I guess it's a bit of a cynical song, but half of it is inspired by my love for American culture. It's an homage to the good parts of America for me.
I want to be the best. I really want to be one of the best songwriters in the world.
I think it gets harder to keep dreaming as you get older. I think it's so important to keep dreaming. This is my dream and it's happening.
I'm Marina and you are the diamonds.
I turned on the TV and it came on twice. If you don't stimulate your brain, you will feel like you have died. I turned on the TV and it came on twice. If your life is too mundane, it is going to pass you by.
Now, is this you as Marina or is this you as somebody else?
This is me as Marina, exploring different identities.
I lived a lot of different lives, been different people many times.
My next album, it explores American archetypes. When artists kind of assume different personas, people think it's an alter ego, and maybe it is, but for me, electro art isn't a person, it's a way to explore identity.
Floating instead of constantly exploding in fear and loathing.
The whole album is a lot darker, it's a lot more electronic, and also stylistically my writing has changed quite a lot because I started to work with a lot of people, whereas before I was like, no, I'm writing everything on my own.
Yeah.
I'm doing an exhibition in a gallery with films that I'll be making for the album and photography collections. I'm really inspired by an artist called Cindy Sherman.
Oh yes.
Who kind of did a lot of self-portraits. Yeah, it's kind of like everything's really good at the moment. I'm really excited about everything.
The album is called Electra Heart. There are a few themes. I think the main theme is love. And I suppose the side of love which is really about rejection and about talking about things that you don't really like to admit in real life. A lot of the imagery for this album is taken from Valley of the Dolls. I watched that, I think it was about 9 months ago, and I just loved it. A lot of the visual side of things is based on female archetypes. So you have the suburban housewife, you have suburban youth, you have the homewrecker, you have pin-ups and stars and beauty queens. I am a bit of all of them. I suppose that's why I've picked those specific archetypes, because they resonate with me.
I'm feeling like a girl, yeah. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. The prima donna life, the rise and fall. You say that I'm kinda difficult, but it's always someone else's fault. Got you wrapped around my finger, babe. You can count on me to misbehave. A prima donna girl. Just I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God.
I wanted to make a dark electronic pop record, and at the time I was joking, saying that if Britney had been a goth, she would have made this kind of album. When you've been hurt in love, you know, you don't want people to feel sorry for you or to be seen as a victim, so you just, and voila, you're a bubblegum bitch.
Why is love such a good theme for a pop song?
Everyone can relate to it. It's just universal, isn't it? And that's why I hate it. Did not want to make a love pop record, but look at me.
At least I think I do. I'm Electra Heart.
Did you feel like you were pretending to be someone you're not when you were Electra Heart? 100% yes.
I purposely made up or created a character, Electra Heart, to act out the songs through. And after that album was done, after I'd, you know, done all of my videos and released my singles, that was the end for me. So I actually moved on quite a long time ago from Electra Heart, and I started writing Fruit.
Seasons come and go, from winter sun to summer snow. This ain't my first time at the rodeo. I'm your golden flower, I'm your bloody rose. Pick my petals off and make my heart explode. I'm your deadly nightshade, I'm your cherry tree. You're my one true love, I'm your destiny.
Fruit the Song was one of the last that I wrote. I was trying to think of a title for my album, and I wanted it to be named after one of the songs on the record, and Fruit was the one that fit most in terms of how I was feeling and how I kind of, what I wanted this album to symbolise, which is growth, I suppose, and feeling fully realised as a person, as an artist. So it's kind of, you know, it's the life cycle of a fruit is, and it can be applied to anything, you know. The third track is called I'm a Ruin. It's about the other side of a relationship which isn't really talked about often, which is, you know, when you have to finish with someone, you have to deal with the guilt of hurting someone that you've loved.
This time around, I mean, I love electronic production and I love pop music. I find it really interesting, but I think this time it was very much a natural decision to have a more human feel on the records, and that was evident from the start, like when I started producing stuff.
Do you think it's important that high-profile people, again, like Patricia Arquette at the Oscars, are speaking out about these issues?
Definitely, definitely, because if they do, like, they're in such a rare position, and to a degree myself, where, you know, we can be a voice piece for certain ideas, and for me, that's what popular culture should be. It should be used to express ideas that are perhaps controversial or provocative, or just are not talked about enough, are kind of unspoken. So that's what I used music for, and that's what originally attracted me to making music. It was actually nothing about loving music or even being a good singer. It was just about communicating ideas. As a female musician, as soon as there's any glimmer that you might have potential to be big, it's almost like, A, there's a huge focus on how the girl looks, and B, that will dictate what they think, what the record label think her music should be like. So for me, because I have the potential to look very pop and like do all that kind of like red carpet stuff, it's like, why should that dictate that I have to make contemporary music? It's bullshit, really.
Small heart made of steel, sick of the wounds that never heal. Forget ain't no time for this. In the end, the road is long. Sometimes you have to learn to forget about it. For one more night. Self-esteem, give me good and pure. What you waiting for? Give me everything, all your heart can bring. Something good and true. I don't wanna feel blue anymore.
Can you talk more about the kind of break you want to take after the tour? I don't know. It's really, I'm going through a weird phase at the moment, I have to admit, because I feel like music and Marina and the Diamonds has been my goal for half my life, since I was 15. And you know, in some ways it's not that I've achieved everything, it's more that I feel satisfied with it, and I'm not like, you know, it's not like a life or death situation. I care, you know, about other things as well in life now. I'm not so kind of narrow-minded. It's made me think in a much broader way, which is healthy. So I don't know what the future holds, but don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just kind of dithering at the moment. And I'm not really sure of the future, which for some of you out there, you might know how that feels. It feels very strange.
I need to take a breath. Yeah, I need to disconnect.
Well, I took a break and then I kind of have been writing ever since. So I've kind of been writing more than I ever have before, which was unexpected, because I thought that I was just like not going to do this anymore for a while. So I'm really excited to put something out. It's been 3 years.
Guess I had my last chance, and now this is our last.
So our inspiration for Baby when we were writing it was a love story that could have been, but that never was, and that bittersweet feeling.
I'm already someone else's.
I think I'm just confident as an artist now, whereas before I very much needed praise and approval from you know, public or whoever I was working with, whereas now it's much more focused on the idea that you write to express something and that's where it ends. It's not about, you know, chart positions or your record label or touring or any of that actually. It's like, well, why are you doing this? Because if you don't know why you're doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it.
I think happy is, you know, something that could still be relevant in 50 years, or like 50 years ago. You know, it's a universal topic that you know, everybody can kind of relate to. It was more of a general feeling over a period of time, and actually with that song, emotionally, I didn't really know what I wanted to say. I wasn't there yet, right. So I just waited.
And when did you get there?
It was like 4 or 5 months later.
I mean, maybe that's why I was sad, because I never expressed it. So it's like people who are happy all the time, there's usually something, you know, there's like a reason for that. Whereas now I feel a lot more measured as a person. It's almost like doing an impression of someone who's happy. So obviously my work really contrasts to that, because it was filled with lyrics that were not reflective of how I was, you know, in public. But now I feel like with this album I've definitely explored another part of me, and that's just because I feel different now. So I think after Electra Heart I was really ready for a big change.
I found what I've been looking for in myself. Found a life worth living for someone else. Never thought that I could be happy. I believe in possibility. I believe someone's watching over
my name is Marina.